Fishit might be hiding the biggest secret on Roblox right now. It looks like an innocent fishing game, but there's something way darker going on that most players have no idea about. This game absolutely exploded over the last 2 months, gaining over 1.8 billion visits, and right now, it's sitting at the #1 spot on all of Roblox. But here's the thing, it openly admits it copied another game and somehow became more popular than the original. And that's just the beginning, because while you're casually playing for fun, there are people treating this game like a full-time job, farming items and breaking Roblox rules in ways that could get thousands of accounts banned. And the craziest part, Roblox isn't stopping any of it. So what's really happening inside Fishit? How are people making real money from a fishing game? And why is the platform letting this continue? In this video, we're exposing everything, and trust me, by the end, you'll never look at this game the same way. But before we dive in, make sure to like and subscribe. Alright, to understand how we got here, we need to go back to the original game, Fish. Fish was created by a solo developer named Woozy Nate, and when it launched, it was actually something special. It had challenging fishing minigames that required skill and timing, beautiful environments to explore, and a real sense of progression. At its peak, Fish became the #1 game on the entire platform, pulling in over 800,000 concurrent players. But then things went south. Fish got acquired by Do Big Studios. Yeah, the same company that's been accused of ruining Grow a Garden, Blade Ball, and a Dusty Trip. And just like those games, Fish started getting filled with pay-to-win mechanics, expensive game passes, and boosters that gave massive advantages. The community backlash got so bad that by July 2025, Do Big Studios actually stepped back from development, but by then the damage was done. The game had dropped from 800,000 players down to around 140,000. And that's when Fishit saw its opportunity. On October 21st, 2024, a game called Fishit dropped, made by a group called Fish Atelier. And right away, people noticed something. This game looked a lot like Fish. In fact, Fishit doesn't even try to hide it. The official game description straight up says, inspired by Fish and Fishing Simulator. But inspired by is putting it lightly. Players started calling Fishit a polished knockoff because while Fish was struggling with its pay-to-win reputation, Fishit came in and basically said, we'll give you the same experience but easier and more fun. And here's the genius part, or the evil part, depending on how you look at it. Fishit removed all the challenging mini-games from Fish and replaced them with simple clicking. In Fish, you have to carefully time your pulls and follow moving bars or you lose your catch. In Fishit, you just click fast until a bar fills up. That's it. Fish was the passion project that took skill. Fishit was the commercial product designed for mass appeal. And guess what happened? Fishit started pulling around 500,000 concurrent players while Fish dropped to around 100,000. The copy became 5 times more popular than the original. Think about that for a second. A game that openly admits it copied another game's entire concept became way more successful by just making everything easier. And this isn't even the wildest part of the story. Here's where things get absolutely crazy. While most Western players were just casually playing Fishit for fun, an entire real money economy exploded around this game in Indonesia and Southeast Asia. And I'm not talking about selling accounts or game passes. I'm talking about players treating this game like an actual job. Indonesian players discovered they could farm rare fish in Fishit and sell them to other players for real Indonesian rupiah using digital wallets like Dana. And this wasn't some underground secret. Major Indonesian news websites were literally publishing guides on how to legally earn money from Fishit, claiming players could make up to 550,000 rupiah per week, which is about $35 US. Now, I know what you're thinking. $35 a week doesn't sound like much, but here's the thing. In Indonesia, where the cost of living is significantly lower, that's actually decent supplemental income. For students or people looking for side money, that's a real paycheck for just playing a game. And the system they set up was actually pretty sophisticated. Players would farm rare fish, especially ones with mutations that made them more valuable, then sell them through in-game trade features to other players. The real money transactions happened through third-party facilitators in communities with cash sent directly to players' Dana digital wallets. One Indonesian article even quoted a player saying, rare fish with high value can be sold for hundreds of thousands of rupiah depending on the mutation and size. These weren't just random trades either. Huge Discord servers formed specifically for Fishit trading, complete with verified middlemen to keep trades safe and prevent scams. But here's where it gets even more interesting. These Indonesian guides would tell players to join trusted communities and only trade through official channels to stay safe. They were treating this like a legitimate business operation. And the craziest part, the Indonesian articles kept calling this legal income. They'd say things like, this is a legal way to earn Dana balance, and as long as you're careful and follow official community channels, the system is safe. But here's the problem. This absolutely violates the platform's terms of service. The platform explicitly prohibits real money trading for in-game items. So while these Indonesian sites were calling it legal, they weren't talking about the game's rules, they were talking about Indonesian law. And that's a huge distinction, because while it might not be illegal under Indonesian law to sell virtual fish for real money, it's definitely against platform platform policy, which means thousands of Indonesian players were risking their accounts and probably didn't even know it. Now, you might be wondering, how are all these people farming enough rare fish to make this profitable? Well, that's where the story gets even darker. See, Fishit has a built-in auto-fishing feature that unlocks when you hit level 3. Once you get there, your character can fish automatically without you clicking anything. So right away, the game is designed to let you walk away and farm while you're doing other things. But players took it way further than that. Someone literally created a sophisticated fishing bot for Fishit using pixel-based automation and real-time screen analysis. This thing can achieve perfect casts and react instantly to fish bites. This isn't some simple macro you download. This is legitimate bot software with a modern UI designed specifically to farm Fishit 24 hours a day. And that's just the tip of the iceberg. There are dozens of Fishit script hacks available online, offering features like autofish, autosell, teleport, and infinite jump. These scripts are so widespread that you can find them on multiple hacking websites, and they get updated every time Fishit patches something. The automation problem got so bad that Indonesian gaming websites started publishing warnings about auto-clickers, saying that using external automation tools could result in permanent account bans. But here's the ironic part. Those same articles admitted that Fishit's built-in auto-click feature was unstable and often didn't work properly. So the game gives you an auto-fishing tool that doesn't work well, then bans you for using third-party tools that actually do work. Players felt trapped. Now think about what this means for the game's player count. Remember how Fishit hit 1.1 million concurrent players? How many of those are real humans actually playing? And how many are bots or AFK farmers running 24/7 to sell fish for real money? We don't have exact numbers, but investigations into similar games suggest that anywhere from 50% to 70% of the player count in games with this kind of economy could be bots or automated farmers. That means Fishit's success might be way more artificial than it looks. And if all of that wasn't enough, Fishit also has its own pay-to-win issues. The game is loaded with paid features, VIP perks, diving kits, premium boats, and the moment you join the game, they're immediately thrown in your face. While Fish kept things relatively low-key before Do Big took over, Fishit went all in on making players spend at every opportunity. So let me get this straight. Fishit copied Fish's entire concept, made it easier to appeal to more players, added more aggressive monetization, and then let bot farms run wild to inflate the player count. And somehow, this became the third most popular game on the platform. Here's the bigger picture, and this is what really concerns me about where gaming is heading. Fishit represents everything wrong with the platform. It's a game that openly admits it copied another game's concept, made that concept easier to appeal wider audience, added aggressive pay-to-win mechanics, let bot farms run wild without intervention, became massively successful despite all of this. And Roblox isn't stopping it. In fact, they're rewarding it. Fishit climbed all the way to #1 in top playing. This is the same pattern we saw with Steal a Brain Rot copying Steal a Character. That game copied someone else's entire layout, added meme content, monetized it heavily, and then won the Best Creative Direction award. The platform is literally giving awards to games that copy others. And now we're seeing it again with Fishit. The original creator of Fish spent months building a unique fishing experience with depth and challenge. Then Fishit shows up, copies the whole thing, makes it easier and flashier, and steals the entire audience. Sometimes I think, what's the reason to be creative anymore when copying works better than creating? Remember how things used to be? Games like Work at a Pizza Place, Natural Disaster Survival, Murder Mystery 2, these were creative, fun experiences that didn't feel like they were trying to squeeze every cent out of you. The fun came from the gameplay, not from gambling on mystery eggs or paying for advantages. But now, the biggest games are either copies of other games or they're being bought up by companies like Do Big Studios and turned into cash machines. So what happens next with Fishit? Well, the developer Wilds announced in Discord that they hit 500,000 concurrent players and are working on official trading features, which probably means the real money economy is about to get even bigger. But here's the question nobody's asking. How long can this last? At some point, the platform is going to have to crack down on the real money trading, right? Or are they going to keep looking the other way because Fishit brings in so many players and so much revenue? And what about the bot problem? If 50 to 70% of the player count is bots or AFK farmers, what happens when they finally decide to ban them all? Does the game collapse overnight? The same questions that haunt Steal a Brain Rot and every Do Big Studios game apply here too. How long can a game built on copying, botting, and pay-to-win mechanics actually survive? And what does it say about the platform that these are the games they're promoting? Let me know what you think in the comments. Either way, make sure to like and subscribe. I'll see you in the next one.